Hey y'all, it's Day or De La Soul. If you're new to my channel, a lot of you guys, if you follow me, you know it, especially if you follow me on Instagram, I share more of like my personal life on there because I can just like post and go. And I want to do better about it on YouTube. So I polled, well, a few people had actually DM'd me. I had mentioned something that I did and they were asking me how did I started talking about manifestation a lot. And they were asking me like, how did I go about the whole manifestation thing? Like what happened with that? And I just did a poll on Instagram asking would people be interested in a YouTube video of me talking about like my manifestations and what I did, what changed up for me or whatever. And like 98% of the people say yes, they wanted me to do a video. So this is going to be the video. So first what happened, this actually didn't even start in January, and I want to give a disclaimer. You don't have to have everything ready for 2020. You didn't have to have it ready in by December. I feel like January, February, March is like your planning time to get ready for the whole year. So if you have not made a single plan yet, sis, you are not too late. Just take this video as your starting point. Go sit down after this video and do what I'm about to tell y'all I did and get going. Like, it's not too late. A lot of people feel defeated, like, dang, I didn't even start going to the gym. No, it ain't even over. Don't make an excuse. Now's the time to get started. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't got started, get started. And it starts with planning, so you are not behind. But anyway, so last year in March, one of my homeboys, I don't know what I was talking about, but he told me to go watch The Secret documentary on Netflix. 2017 and on were really good years for me, but it was still some things I felt like it was holding me back. I was holding myself back, and I was like, I need to like get out of my own way, and that's why he told me to watch it. I get in my way. And my grandmother gave me that book back when it was like in the Oprah's book choice, whatever, of the year. It might have been my senior year of high school or freshman year of college when she gave it to me as like a gift. And I read the book kind of halfway, but at the time I was like 17. It didn't really register what was going on. It just really went in one ear and out the other. So some time had went by and it had popped up on my Netflix suggestions, and I was like, well, let me watch it. It's not very long. So basically I watched the documentary, and the documentary is all about what do they call it? The law of attraction. Basically what you put out is what you receive from others, the universe, your job, your anything. It's just about the law of attraction. So I watched the documentary and I immediately went out and bought a notepad, which I brought in. Here it is. I bought this notepad. Here's what it says on the notepad. And y'all, I'm not even like a super religious person, and I say I'm spiritual, but I'm not even a religious person. But this is what stood out to me as what I wanted to have to like keep my little, not even a journal, but you'll see in a second. So I went out and bought this notepad, and the things that the documentary, I went through and kind of took notes from the documentary, like the main points from it. And basically it was 3 steps that I gathered in the documentary to like kind of bring the things that's in your mind into like fruition. And it was to like ask for what you want, believe in what you're asking for, and then receive it. Like a lot of times too, we ask for stuff or people try to hand us stuff, and because we're not trusting, we're insecure and whatnot, we can't receive it. So it's ask, believe, and receive it. So I was like, okay, so these are the 3 things that they're saying in the documentary, so how do I go about doing it? So I went with write down what you want. Then I went to see it and feel it. So write down what you want, say I want this, then visualize how you want it, and that's the believe part. And then receive it is just to be gracious, and when it comes, don't question it. That's what it is as far as receiving it. And basically this is exactly what I wrote down last when did I actually write this down? April the 4th of last year. I wrote down the secret to life is to let your thoughts be positive so they can manifest outwardly. That's what I could not believe the last. My handwriting is trash. Let me reread that. The secret to life is to let your thoughts be positive so they can manifest outwardly. So then it was time to do step 1, which was to ask for things. And the things that I wanted to do, I put that I asked to be a full-time influencer, and underneath I put specific ways that I can see myself being a full-time influencer. And it was to make X amount of money in different ways that I wanted to make the money. Then it was, let's see, I asked to pay off all of my debt. except for my student loans, and we're not gonna get into that. But like all of my like pressing debt, I asked to pay all of that off. Then I put that I asked to travel because I love traveling, y'all. I love to get out. Y'all, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I stay going on a trip or stay having something planned. And then I put that I asked for patience and peace of mind because I have like, I don't have anxiety. I don't want to say that because people say like I have anxiety or depression, and I feel like it's like, it takes away from people who are actually clinically diagnosed with anxiety and depression. I'm not clinically diagnosed with anything, but I get anxious. So I asked for just like the patience to deal with stuff, the patience to like let go of things that I cannot control, that kind of stuff. And I listed exactly what kind of patience and peace of mind that I wanted. And I mean, that was a lot of other stuff, but I'm gonna mention this because this is like this is a big focus on my stories on Instagram right now. And I put that I asked for a mutually loving relationship, and I was super specific on that. So after I wrote down these things, this was like my initial thoughts right after the documentary. This was my initial, the things that I wanted. Right after that, I went and got affirmation cards so that if I ever felt like discouraged or like lost the vision, because it's all about asking, seeing, and believing and receiving. If I ever like lost the motivation or couldn't get direction, I had like affirmation cards which are in the other room, and I'll link those in the description box as well. I got them off Amazon. And I could just go through, refer to the affirmations, and just kind of, you know, like redirect positive thoughts, because it's all about maintaining positive thoughts. And even when things are going bad for you, you can always find a positive in it. Like things may not turn out the way that you wanted it. There are things I specifically asked for, but I didn't get it the exact way that I thought I was gonna get it, but I got what I asked for, if that makes sense. So one example, I asked to be a full-time influencer, and I asked to make a certain amount of money, and I listed how I wanted to make my money. So I didn't exactly make the money the way I compartmentalized, but I made the money that I asked for. And I still have my full-time job where I work for the state, but I also make more money being an influencer. So as far as I'm concerned, I have 2 full-time jobs. That happened. I asked for it, and I just have 2 full-time jobs. I don't see a reason to quit my actual job. I like my actual job, and I just don't, right now I can balance both, so there's no reason for me to quit my actual job. I enjoy it, and I have really good benefits working with the state. So that was one thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, you could ask for something, but it still came to me differently from the way, exactly how I visioned it. Right after the documentary, I was feeling like super inspired, and I also went through and I was like making lists of good things that happened to me. I had like a little mason jar, and I would write down the good things that happened to me every single time something good happened to me. And then at the end of the year, I went through and pulled it out, and I had like hundreds of little, I mean, it would be like on a receipt or anything. I had like hundreds of little good things that happened to me, and it'd be like little stuff like, ooh, I found $5 today, or oh, I don't know, I got an extra chicken nugget in my combo, like little stuff like that. But if you guys haven't ever done that before, do it. It's real refreshing at the end of the year, especially at the end of the year, because I feel like a lot of us have a lot of regrets, like, dang, I didn't get nothing accomplished this year. But if you go back and like look, obviously there was more bigger things than chicken nuggets and finding $5, but it's like a refreshing thing to go back and look and see like all the good things that happened to you during the year. What else happened to me? So yeah, right after I watched that, a bunch of good things happened to me within like 48 hours, and I'm a signs person. I took that as a sign. First thing that happened is I went to work that Monday, and there was a video that I made that I was not gonna post because I was like, I'm about to piss a bunch of people off. And it was that video about supporting, or about about white hair brands kicking black owned companies off the shelf. I'm gonna link that video here. It's a really good video. It sparked a lot of good dialogue. I was not gonna post that video because I was like, I don't feel like arguing with people, but my homegirl Shanetta, aka Celestial Curls on YouTube, she told me to post that video, and I posted that video, and within like the first like 12 hours, that joint was like going. And as a result of me posting that video, hold on, because I want to make sure I list it in order that it happened. I think I put it in my phone. So okay, so right after I posted that video, like 2 days later, I got an email from a documentary that I can't say too much about the documentary, but I got an email about a documentary wanting to feature that video. And that happened right after I posted it. Then I got another email about that video with a web series offer that I ended up declining because I just was like, I don't want to do a web series. I can barely commit to posting with y'all a couple times a month. So I definitely can't do no web series. So I declined that. Then I made $6,150 in that 48 hours. Some of that money was expected, some of it wasn't. It was quick, little turnaround money. And then also within that same 48 hours, I got my emails to go to the World Natural Hair Show, and I got my emails to go to Curl Fest, which is really interesting because I was feeling like super down and out and upset because I did not get an invite to host anything at Essence Festival. So I was like super pissed. I felt betrayed. I was like, dang, don't nobody respect me in this natural hair thing, and I be working with all these brands, but they use me, but they didn't want to let me come to their events, and I love events. But it's crazy because it ended up turning out, even though I didn't go to Essence and I asked to go to events, I had, I think, about 9 events that I did between April and I want to say I stopped them in October because the holidays came, my birthday came in with 9. So between April and October, what's that, 6 months, I went to 9 events. That is amazing if you are an influencer. But yeah, I took all of that as a sign to keep on with the writing and keep on like making those, I want this, I asked for this, and this is the way that I want it. It's not something that you have to do every day. You do it as your heart desires. And at first I felt like I had to do it like at least weekly, and then it kind of trickled off to where the last few months of the year I didn't, because all those things were happening for me. And 2019 was just like a lit year for me. I don't want to list them all because I don't want to feel like I'm bragging, but I went on a lot of trips. I think I made 6 figures. I haven't quite done my taxes yet, but I really think I made 6 figures for the first time in my life last year. If I didn't make 6 figures, I was super close, and I'm claiming it for this year. What else did I got? A new car. I was published in a national magazine. I had a 2-page feature in Hype Hair magazine, and that was dope because a lot of people were like seeing it in Walmart. People were like at the hair salon sending me pictures, so I had a 2-page feature in Hype Hair magazine. Then I also published my own very first like actual article with Dollar General, and that was amazing. It was a national magazine. It was a Beauty Sense magazine. You won't really see it as a customer. It is available if you go look online at the Dollar General website. I'm in the issue with Megan Good, but it was something that went to a lot of their not clients, but whoever, like vendors. It went to a lot of their vendors, so different like beauty cosmetics and whatever products they have in the store, that's really who they cater that magazine to. So they got me a lot of exposure to different brands, and I got a lot of different offers. I ended up after that getting an offer to work with Walmart, and then I got an offer to work with Sally Beauty. I mean, I felt like being in that magazine kind of helped me be able to work from brands to work with retailers, and I thought that was super dope. I paid off all my debt. that happened. I claimed that. I specifically said I wanted to pay off the debt, and I wrote down the accounts. I specifically paid off a personal loan I had to take out in college. What else was it? My car note that I had, when I wrote it down, did get paid off, but I got a new car, and I don't owe any, as far as I'm concerned, I owe myself because I don't owe any interest on it, and I didn't have to put any money down. There was another credit card that I ran up in college. Yeah, I ran that card up in college. I paid that completely off, and then my dog got really sick last December of 2018, and that cost me about $7,000 to save her little stinking butt, but I paid that off. What else happened? B2K got back together. I went to that concert, y'all. I cried in middle school when they broke up, by the way, so that was a big deal for me. We were super hyped. Me and all my friends went. So oh, and I met my boyfriend last year, and I want to say about all of that, the key when you write this down is to be really specific. Be realistic. Don't just say, oh, I want to make $1 trillion. Like, come on, sis. I mean, it could happen, but be realistic so your stuff is more likely to happen and you're more likely to believe it. If you write down, well, I'm going to make $1 trillion in a year, do you really believe that you're going to make $1 trillion in a year, sis? You have to be specific in what you want, and you have to be vulnerable. And I'm going to use the boyfriend thing as an example. I wrote down specifically, I asked for a mutually loving relationships, because in the past, with my relationships, I felt like there's only been like with this boyfriend I have now and a boyfriend from high school where I really felt like it was like mutual. Usually it's like I'm just tolerating the person, I'm with them to be with them, We have good times, but it's kind of like you're not really like sparking my flame. We just have good times, but 75% of the times you really getting on my goddamn nerves. But I specifically asked for a relationship where it was like mutual. Like I felt like I was as into this person as they are into me. My problem was too that I had in my mind like find somebody that loves you more than you love them, and that's the kind of people that I would select for instead of finding somebody where it's just mutual. That's more important than anything. So I'm gonna read y'all specifically what I wrote down for the boyfriend thing under like how I wanted it to be. So I asked for a mutually loving relationship, and I put that I want to be loved the way that I love. I want to be secure with a man who loves me. I want a man who is willing to put as much in a relationship as I am. I want a husband for the rest of my life who is ambitious, kind, with a huge heart, who is hilarious, loyal, respects me, is fine as fuck, and king fine, y'all. King real fine. And I put who will be a great father, provider, and who is successful. And I put I do not want to settle, and I do not want to go through hell to be loved. And I feel like that's what I got. Like, I don't have any complaints with my relationship. I'm not gonna say we have the perfect relationship and everything is all hunky-dory, but at the end of the day, it's mutual. We mutually love each other. I feel like we love each other. We're equally yoked, and the respect and the loyalty is there, and the friendship is there. Like that is my best friend right now. Like, it's not like he just fell out the sky. I met him actually in high school. We went on a date in the past, and I'm not sure why we didn't go back out again after that, but one day we were just talking on Instagram. He responded to one of my stories, and we got to talking, and then he asked, he's like, remember when we went on that date? And I was like, yeah, why did we stop talking? And we both like, I don't know, we just stopped talking. So then I was like, well, let's just go out again. Went out again, been stuck like glue ever since. I literally wrote down what I wanted in a man. I was specific, I was being realistic, and I was being really vulnerable, which is the key. You gotta be vulnerable, because never in a million years would I even think that I would even read that to you guys. But I'm reading it to you guys because I want people to have what I'm having and experience what I'm having. I want everybody to glow up and grow up. So never in a million years would I have thought I was gonna write that down and not feel like weird about it. I don't even feel weird about telling y'all right now, which is, I'm usually kind of like a private person. I don't like to express my feelings that are like that, like really mushy feelings, but you gotta be real specific, you gotta be realistic, and you gotta be vulnerable about it, because you gotta tap into that vulnerability to know what you really want, especially when it comes to things like personal things, like your relationships with your parents, with your friends, or with your man. Like, you gotta be real personal with yourself. You don't have to tell everybody. That's why I chose to write it down. In the documentary it was saying say it, but I don't like telling everybody everything, so I wrote it down. That's the route that I chose to take, and it worked, because look at me now. I had a great year, and I got all those things I wanted, and not necessarily in the way that I thought they would come, but it came, and I couldn't be more grateful. And I feel like it came the way that, it may not have came the way that I wanted it to come, but it came the way that I needed it, or that I need it to come at the time, or at the place where I'm at in my life right now. So this year, 2020, I have actually switched to an iPad Pro, and I am doing digital planning. Went ahead and I did some research. I looked on YouTube. I don't even know what possessed me. I was just sitting there, like the first week of January, I was just sitting at work, and for whatever reason the iPad popped into my head, and I was like, let me see what the new iPad Pro hitting on, because I've never owned an iPad. I've had Samsung Galaxy tablets, but I love Apple. I have an iPhone and everything, so I was like, let me see what it's talking about. The more videos I watched trying to convince myself that I didn't need it, the more it was explaining to me like, damn, you should get that. So I started watching YouTube videos on digital planning. Then I remember Kimberly. If y'all don't know Kimberly Sherrill, y'all should follow her. That's my girl. She was like briefly telling me about the digital planner, and I wasn't paying attention, but I went back and asked her, what are you using for your digital planner? And she told me about GoodNote 4. No, she uses GoodNote 5, which is the app. I'm gonna have that linked in the description box as well. She told me about that when I was looking on YouTube doing my own research, which, you know, everybody's different. Just because it works for somebody doesn't mean it works for somebody else. So when I was looking on the internet and watching different people who have different lifestyles, trying to see what they like, a lot of them like GoodNote 4, and there were a few other digital planning apps. If you guys are interested, just type in digital planners, and a whole bunch of stuff will come up from a whole bunch of different type of people with different priorities, different lifestyles, whatever. You don't have to be an influencer to be a digital planner. There was like people who were like techies that were doing it, stay-at-home moms that was doing it, like students that were doing it, so it can work for anybody. So downloaded GoodNote 4, which is this app. And I went on Etsy and shopped planners, and I'm a planner person anyway. I usually have a like book planner, and I go through those about 3 a year. I always want a different one to keep me like engaged with the planner and interested in writing in different colors and whatnot. So went on Etsy for about a day. It took me a day to like figure out all these apps, and I stumbled across Hustle Insanely on Etsy, and it was in a few of the videos that I watched. So I went ahead and just went with Hustle Insanely, and I have this also in the description box. I went with her templates for my digital planner. Went ahead, got one, and this is my digital planner. And can I turn this to the side? Yeah, there we go. This is my digital planner right here. Can y'all see that? It's probably kind of blurry. I don't know why my stuff has not been auto-focusing these past few days. And let me go to a blank one so you guys can see what I have going on. Well, first I'm going to show you guys a month of like my stuff filled in. And what I did basically was merge my personal life planner with my like YouTube, like personal YouTube, and my like state job is all in one planner. So I have like my vacation. I had 2 trips back to back. I went on a mountain trip with my boyfriend, then got right back, went to Mexico with Aunt Jackie's. I have like content that I want to post, so hopefully I'll do better about posting that my content in one color. I have state holidays, the days I won't be off work, which is, this is actually the 20, today's the 19th, so I'm off work tomorrow, and here's more content that I need to post. Then as far as my daily calendar, this is what that looks like. This page is not filled in. I'm not going to post a filled in page in my daily calendar because it has my clients' names in them. But you know, it's got the to-do list for what I need to do that day, time slots for my scheduling and whatnot. And then it also has, you can like buy these pages and insert. And what I like about digital planning is that you can like customize it to your lifestyle. So I'm currently looking for how this ties into this video. I'm currently shopping for a good like affirmation goals journal so that every month when I sit down and do my planning, I can incorporate that into my planning. So other things that it has on here, I'm gonna skip down to some blank ones so you guys can see. It has, there it goes, a monthly budget tracker, so I can put like the start and balance of my savings and the ending. Same thing with my check-in, bills that are going to be due, the amount of money I actually spent on bills, the amount of money that I actually wasted, and what I really put into my savings. Because sometimes we'll say I'm about to put $400 into my savings, but then we end up taking $300 out. But anyway, you can like keep track of that, and I feel like seeing that stuff, it kind of like holds you accountable because you're always writing it down, and it's like, damn, it's like it makes you reflect. And I feel like when you reflect on things, it holds you accountable. So I'm gonna be good about filling this out every single month, which I have to write down. That's somehow basically gonna pay my bills off this. So this is how I keep track of my bills, because I don't care how life get good. I don't care how good life gets. I'm not putting my bills on auto pay. So I gotta write them down so that I can keep up with my bills. I also put expenses over here, but I haven't used that side yet. I just been using this side. Another page that it has is like a vacation. Dang, this one's kind of bright, so y'all probably can't see it. But I'm gonna link them in the description box. But it has a vacation list so I can properly plan my vacations and make sure that I don't leave stuff. That would have been so useful to me last year, because really, literally between, what was it, August and September, I went on a trip and went out of town somewhere or went on vacation, did something every single weekend for about 9 weeks straight. And it was a lot to unpack and repack and unpack and repack. So I really wish I had this on there. And other thing that this thing did, because I used it on my trips for Mexico that I just took and for the mountain trip, when I planned out my actual days, like I knew what I was doing, but when I actually wrote them down and seen it, it helped me pack my clothing. Because if you know me, you know we can be gone for a weekend. I'm bringing a carry-on. I mean, not a carry-on, I'm checking in a bag. I'm bringing everything. I'm gonna have 10 outfits because I'm just gonna start on it. I'm bringing 10 outfits. So writing it down actually helped me not overpack for my last trip. So yeah, this packing list with the itinerary and different things to do, that made my life a lot easier. Another thing that it also has is a grocery list. I mean, it's just like, I'm not gonna keep going. It just has so much you can put into your digital planner. And my goal is, and why I'm even bringing this up, is because I can carry this everywhere. It's fun to use, it's engaging, it's customizing to my visual aesthetic, like what I like, what my lifestyle is, and I'm gonna use this. Well, if you see me, it's gonna be in my purse. And I'm bringing this everywhere. I got the little Apple Pen to go with it and everything. I'm gonna be using this to like keep track of everything, and I'm just hoping for like an even more amazing year than last year. So what I want you guys to do is to, as soon as you finish this video, if you're feeling inspired and you want to have an amazing 2020 like I had an amazing 2019, go get you either an iPad or a tablet. You can get you, matter of fact, you can do it on your cell phone. I just prefer to do it on this because I was not trying to be on my cell phone like trying to see stuff. But go get you something, a book like I did. This worked just fine last year. Everything worked out perfectly, just with some pencil, or what is it, pen, some pink and green pen, and this little thing. This worked just fine last year. Go down, write down specifically what you want for the year, then go back, write down exactly how you want it. Then you just gotta keep preparing yourself and convincing yourself that this is something that you deserve, this is something that you were entitled to, and work for it. I really feel like when you write it down and you start believing it, it's just like the universe kind of like, I don't want to say the universe will give it to you, but like doors will open, and the fact that you wrote it down and you already have a plan makes you like more inclined to seize the opportunity when it comes, because you were already mentally and physically prepared for whatever it was to come your way. So that's pretty much it, y'all. If you guys want me to do a video on me planning a month, let me know. I'm not sure if you guys are interested in this. I didn't even know this was a thing, and I got literally stuck. Even now to this day, I go through and watch videos of people digital planning, and I know I'm a YouTuber, but I don't even watch YouTube videos. But I really enjoy watching people plan things for some reason, and I never would have thought that was something I like. But if you guys want to see me do a session where I sit down and go through and plan like my bills, if I have a trip that month, my grocery list, my eating, I need to get one for eating because I need to get the stomach back together. But yeah, if you guys want me to go through and like do like a detailed video on me doing like an actual planning to see like the thought process and the organization into it like in full effect, let me know. Go ahead and comment in the comment section and let me know. Yeah, that's it. If you guys are feeling real bold, go ahead and write down the things that you want in the comment section. Like, be proud, don't be embarrassed. Again, you gotta woo, almost dropped this dang on iPad. Let me put that down. The 3 things that helped me get it together was to write it down, be super specific, and be vulnerable when I wrote it down, so I really know it came from the heart. So that's it, y'all. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope even if just 2 of y'all feel inspired after this video, it was worth it. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.